Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today I'm joined by 3 local nonprofits, Bridge Communities, the Chorus of DuPage, and the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago and Northwest Indiana.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from Bridge Communities is Jen Bistry. It's so nice to have you on the show, Jen.
Thanks, Jane. It's great to be here and great to see you.
Yeah, Bridge Communities. Talk a little bit about the mission and the impact you're having in the community.
Right. So what Bridge does is we work with families in DuPage County who are experiencing homelessness, and we move them from homelessness to permanent generational self-sufficiency. And we do that over a multi-year program. So for about 2 years, families live with us, rent and utility free. And while they're in the program, we are working on what caused them to be homeless in the first place. So what we refer to as our secret sauce is our programming. So we are being highly customized and individualized for each member of that family. What do they need so that they can attain permanent generational self-sufficiency? So for about over half of our clients, the reason they're homeless is because of domestic violence. But really for 100% of our clients, the reasons are financial. They simply are not making enough money to be able to pay their bills and live. So our program focuses on 2 areas. One is the financial end, and we do that through budgeting and financial literacy education. We also do that by programming with them, helping them find a better job so they're making that living wage.
Okay.
We have a workshop called 4 Weeks to Success, Getting Hired, Retained, and Promoted. So every mother goes through that, and it, just as it says, it's let's get you a better job, let's make sure you stay in that job and you're a great employee, and let's help you advocate for yourself so you can get a better wage and a promotion. And then the other area we focus on, because that's going to get you your permanent self-sufficiency, the generational side comes in working with the kids. So we have a dedicated children's services team that works to do everything to make sure that the children in our program are thriving academically, emotionally, socially, and physically, because we really want to break that cycle of poverty, homelessness, and abuse.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And when you first started, I thought, that's an interesting, because I don't know that I've heard the generational, and that is so important because, as you talked about, breaking that cycle.
Right.
Kids didn't get themselves into that situation, and oftentimes it's not that the clients get themselves into that situation. Circumstances happen, but how do you make sure that it doesn't become like that's what life looks like for a child, right?
Right. Yeah, that's very important with us. And kind of a neat take on that is, so we have what we call our Associates Board, and that is our next generation of supporters. Our young professionals group. And the chairman of that board was a child. He was a teenager in our program. And now he's a successful business owner.
What a great story.
Right? And there are several individuals in that group and that are members who are former clients. So that's that generational part, right? Yeah. Working with those kids and making sure we're breaking the cycle. And we know our program works. So we did a 30-year longitudinal study that showed that 75% of the graduates never fell behind in rent or their mortgage, let alone became homeless. 84% reported to be stable to thriving in their careers.
Wow.
So our program works.
That's amazing.
We're really proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. You sort of already gave us an impactful story, because I love that somebody that was in the program is now giving back to the program. I mean, that's a huge testament. Give us another.
Sure. So I live in Glen Ellen, and I was welcoming a new neighbor into our neighborhood. And I went down to meet her, and we got to chit-chatting, and I mentioned that I work for Bridge Communities. And she looked at me and she said, "Oh, I'm a former client of Bridge."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that something? So here she is now, years later, and she is remarried. She was a victim of domestic violence, so she's remarried now. They have five children and a blended family. All of them are doing well. She's a homeowner. She has a thriving career in the tech sector. So there you go, your permanent generational solution for neighbors right here in our own community.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So what might be a common misperception that people have about your organization, Jen?
Yeah, you touched on one, just thinking that they think that they're homeless because I get asked, what about drug addiction or, it's something that would be their fault. And what I would say is that last year, 96% of the families coming into our program were working. They just weren't making a living wage. So what a financial house of cards that is, especially when you're a single wage earner. You have one car payment or one car repair, or you miss work and you don't have PTO, and it just comes crashing down. You're making tough decisions and eventually get evicted. So that's what often happens. The other thing that I would say that would be important for viewers to know is that family homelessness is hidden. So what's the extent of the problem? Well, I can tell you that the recent statistics from the county showed that 3,200 children are registered as homeless in DuPage County Public School System.
Okay.
So that's a big number. And you know what? It's up 50% from just 2 years ago. So it's the extent of the problem. Why aren't we seeing that? Because our families are couch surfing.
Yes.
They're moving around. They're hidden. We just don't see it.
Yeah, that's a pretty staggering number, and it does really make you think. And again, goes back to why the generational cycle is so important, right? How do other organizations partner with you to have this kind of positive impact in the community?
Right. Well, we are so lucky in DuPage County. We have such an ecosystem of support, and we are just part of that ecosystem. We have 40% of our housing is in Naperville. We work with Loaves and Fishes in Naperville. We work with DuPage Pads. We refer clients back and forth to each other. We also work with many corporations in DuPage County who are sponsors of our events, provide volunteers. So we work in a myriad of ways, and one of our most important partnerships we call program partners. So what program partners do is they essentially sponsor a family or multiple families. They'll pay us an amount of money every month for a commitment of 2 years, and oftentimes provide the volunteer mentors that are fully trained, fully supported by Bridge communities. But it's the mentors that are sitting down every week at the kitchen table with that family to say, how's your budgeting going? How's your job search going? How are your kids doing in school? Really providing mentoring, right? And not only am I on staff, but I'm also a volunteer mentor for a young family right here in Naperville.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And I do think, I love that fact that people are partnering with you, paying every month. I mean, you really can feel the impact of that. It helps you offset the cost, because obviously there's a cost, it's rent-free, right?
Yes,
but it's a 2-year, it's really sort of allowing people to get on their feet. I mean, that's really what you're doing, is you're not giving a hand out, you're giving a hand up.
Totally,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the program partner fees cover about a third of the cost of the housing and all the programming we provide.
Okay, that's amazing. And you're always looking for new volunteers and mentors?
Volunteers and mentors. Mentors is such a rewarding, I can say from personal experience, such a rewarding experience. Volunteers, people that come to our events, I would invite everyone to look at our website and see the stories and see how the unique model that we're using and how effective we are and the outcomes that we can prove and show. And I think you'll be impressed.
Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jane. This has been fabulous.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. You too.
And if you would like to learn more about Bridge Communities, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
This is the When Art Flourishes, Everyone Flourishes commitment. This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, We're a bank that does good.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. And joining me now from the chorus of DuPage are Mark Baroni and Christian Supple. So it's great to have you here. I should have worn my red. You look dressed beautifully for the holidays. Mark, I want to start out with you. Tell us about this Northern Illinois Harmony Alliance.
Yeah, this is a group that started coming out of the COVID pandemic. You know, we felt the need to get back together and sing. Our numbers in a lot of our chapters were rebounding from the pandemic, and so we got about 5-6 choruses together to put on a couple of Christmas shows that year, and we've kept it up. This year we're involving 7 different local choruses around the Chicago area and putting it on for the 5th year in a row.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and are you starting to see that 7? Are you thinking you're going to keep growing?
You know, I think we'll get more voices, you know, and important to say, for our group, we're not limited to people who are members of the Barbershop Society. Anybody from the community who loves to sing and will come to the rehearsals and learn the music is welcome to join us. We certainly started with a bunch of people who were, but we really want other people in the community involved.
Okay. Now, Christian, you've been a member of the chorus at DuPage for quite some time. So what attracted you to barbershop singing?
My first introduction was when I was around 9 or 10 when my father first started singing music. And I remember I was a little kid, I was just like, what is this? And I was just like, my father's original quartet, it just blew me away. So I actually got my start in barbershop singing Christmas shows at the age of 10.
Wow, an early bird.
Yes.
And what's it like singing with Dad?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been so grateful to have such an amazing father who I can have such an amazing passion with and relate to him.
Okay, that's nice. It's fun when you share things, right, with your kids. I mean, oftentimes we have independent interests, but lovely that you have the shared passion for it. We're going to hear from him a bit later, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Mark, tell us about the types of events, because you mentioned that coming out of COVID, you're performing a lot. What kinds of events do you perform at?
Well, keep in mind, we don't just have the choruses, but also quartets. You know, we do a lot of that. So we'll have our own chapter shows and full shows that are put on, you know, once or twice a year. And then we're at community events. You know, the Chorus of DuPage in particular supports a lot of veterans events in the area. And, you know, on Christmas time, a lot of caroling. We also sing at, you know, community events, libraries, nursing homes, things like that all around town. People can reach out on the Chorus website and can actually book us to come out and sing.
So, Mark, talk a little bit about maybe just a moment of what really makes you want to do this. Because you're giving back a lot, right? I mean, you talk about a lot of events in different places that you're giving to and giving the joy of that gift.
Yeah, you know, outside of just the relationships that you build and the friendships you build, you know, our chapter in Aurora every year goes and sings at a senior place that's lower income. They don't have any money to, you know, contribute to us or anything like that, but they make us cookies, you know, and they get ready for us to come and you get to visit with them afterwards and you see how much it means to somebody to have, you know, live entertainment come and have people coming in and visiting. It makes you feel really good.
Yeah. And I would think too, I mean, it's also, and I think a little bit barbershop, it's always uplifting.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really hear sad stuff. It's uplifting, you know, for the most part. So I would think that your audiences would really enjoy that.
They do. People are surprised how much they like it. Do you want to hear a song? I don't know. And then you sing one, and do you know another one? Do you have a YouTube channel? That's usually how it goes.
I love that. Well, that's a perfect segue into, we're going to hear a little bit. Now, you have this father-son quartet, so it's going to be your dad with you, Christian, right?
Yes.
And your son with you, Mark.
That's right.
So why don't we take a listen?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, if you long for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home, sweet home. I met a man who lives in Tennessee, and he was heading for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie. From Pennsylvania, folks are traveling down to Dixie's sunny shore. From Atlantic to Pacific, gee, the traffic is terrific. Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays. 'Cause no matter how far away you roam, if you want to be happy in a million ways, for the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home, sweet home. When you've grown up, my dears, and are as old as I, you'll often ponder on the years that roll so swiftly by, and on the many lands you will have journeyed through, you'll oft recall the best of all, the land your childhood knew, your childhood knew. Toyland, Toyland, little girl and boyland, while you dwell within it, you are ever happy then. Childhood's joyland, mystic merry Toyland. Once you pass its borders, you can never return again to the land that brings joy to each girl and boy. No, you'll never return again. Never again.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the college is paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now from the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago and Northwest Indiana is Adrienne Fleming. So nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's start with what inspires you to give back and how long you've been with the Girl Scouts as a volunteer.
Okay, so this is my 16th year as a Girl Scout. leader, though I'm not really a leader anymore because my youngest daughter just graduated last year.
Okay.
Though I have stayed on to be the service unit manager for what we call the Naperville area older girls. So those are the girls from 6th grade to 12th grade.
Okay.
And I'm the liaison for the leaders to council. I'm that
Okay.
in between, so they can come and ask me questions, anywhere from financing to planning to trips to everything, whatever else. So
You're a 16-year fountain of information.
I am. I really am. But I still do learn new things.
Okay, well, that's always good.
Yes.
That's always good.
It's very important.
Why do you love it?
Empowering girls. I have 2 daughters. Some of the things I've had to do to show the girls to come over your fears, like this summer when we were in Austria, we went canyoning, and I was jumping from 8-foot rocks into pools that were very tiny, just so I could prove to my girls that yes, you can do anything and whatever else. So that part's important. I also think it's really important to give back to your community.
Okay.
If you only take, then there's nothing left. So it's really important to give back and fill and replenish and
I love that.
pass on what you've learned and what you've experienced.
Yeah, and if everybody gives a little, nobody has to give too much, right?
Exactly. Share the wealth.
Yeah.
Share the wealth.
Love that.
Yeah.
What do you find are the biggest challenges for the Girl Scouts at this point?
Right now, it would be membership.
Okay.
We really, really, really need adult volunteers to help lead troops, volunteer with troops. We really, that's the biggest problem we're having right now is we have lots of girls on the wait list, but we don't have enough leaders to form troops.
Oh, yeah, you don't want a girl wanting to be a Girl Scout and nobody to help lead, right?
Exactly, and that's our biggest hurdle.
Okay, and if you were to say to them, obviously other than just the giving back and everything, if you were to sort of say, hey, here's the number one reason to be a leader, what would that be?
For me, it was that I got to spend a lot of time with my girls and their friends. So I really got to know that other aspect of their life instead of being the mom and the rule maker and the disciplinarian. I got to be the fun person and see how they interact with their friends. So I really got to learn a whole other side of my girls. So that, to me, is big kudos.
Big reason to sign up, volunteer,
Yeah.
and give of your time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
And you know, Adrienne, is there training that goes with that? Like, give us a little bit of an idea of kind of how that works.
There is tons of training. You
Okay.
never have to do this on your own. Council has all kinds of training. They have all kinds of material. There's actually on the troop website, when you become a leader, there's called the Troop Volunteer Kit. And it will actually program a whole year of meetings for you with badges and everything else. So it's really not like for our moms. Like when our moms did it, they were doing it all on their own, kind of fly by Nate. You can still do it that way if you like, but you have tons of support out there.
Okay.
In person, like myself.
Right.
And from digital things, Pinterest, you name it, you can find meeting ideas, not a
Okay.
problem. Yeah.
And I would imagine that meetings and the activity, I mean, you just talked about going to Austria and jumping off pools. It has really changed from when I was a Girl Scout, so a little bit different.
Yeah.
Talk about some of those range of activities that the girls were involved in.
Oh, goodness gracious. There are so many things. A troop can do anything. They can meet once a month. They can go for a trip once a month. They can meet every week. It's really up to the leaders and how involved they think their girls want to be and how much time they have.
Okay.
Girls themselves can just join as what we call a Juliet. So the girl is not part of a troop. She's just on her own and she does her own thing, works on her own badges, works on her own high awards, the bronze,
Okay.
silver, gold, where she can just do it on her own. There's so many ways for girls to be involved.
Okay, and to get engaged.
Yeah.
If you were to kind of just say, top thing that you think girls get out of this experience.
Oh my goodness. The opportunity to be in a safe environment where they can explore who they think they might want to be or who they think they are.
Okay.
In a very safe, inclusive environment.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. Now you've got a lovely pink box there.
do.
So tell us about the cookies, because we all love the cookies.
So this is our new cookie for this year. It's called the Explore Mores.
I love that. Explore more.
Exactly, all about Girl Scouts, right? It's a Rocky Road, ice
Okay.
cream inspired.
Okay.
So it's got marshmallows, chocolate, obviously. It's a chocolate sandwich cookie.
Okay.
And it is got an almond flavor. So it's tree nut free, but not peanut free, because it is made on the same line as the do-si-do.
Okay, so important to know that.
Very important to know that. I have tried it. It is very good.
Okay.
And I'm a chocolate girl. I am 100% a chocolate girl. It's really good. The cookies are still $6 a box.
Okay.
The Scouts this year will start selling in person and online digital cookie mid-December.
Okay.
And then if you don't know a Girl Scout, don't worry. We have the cookie booth starting at the end of January, and they will run until early to mid-March.
So you can stock up.
Oh, for sure. And you're going to want to, because I really like this one.
Okay, and just so for everybody to know, the money goes where? How does the money circle back into the organization?
So the money stays, so council, which is the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago, Northwest Indiana, they get a portion of the sales, but the girls' troop, actual troop, gets a share of the profits too. Each troop gets, each girl gets $1, it depends, $1.05 or $1.15, depending on whether you choose to earn all the badges and the rewards that come.
Okay.
If you don't do that, then you get $1.15 per box.
Okay.
So it stays right here. The girl that you're buying it from is the girl who's getting the cash.
I like that, because it's always nice to know that the money is staying local, right?
Exactly.
And it's supporting the work that you're doing with the girls.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. So,
And it's very important, because the girls decide what it is they want to do with their cookie money. So they could be saving for a big trip. For instance, the service unit that I manage, we are planning for a big trip to Europe in 2 years. So they could save for that. Or if they're younger girls, they'll usually save it for crafts or a service project they might be doing in the area. So it's lots of opportunity for you to help the girls learn how to budget and prepare for everything, but then it's still going to stay very local.
I like that. Teachable moments even within this.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Adrienne, thank you so much for coming by and giving us, a really nice overview. I mean, clearly you want volunteers, but what also I'm hearing coming through is that flexibility, which I think sometimes we don't always think about that with different youth organizations, but you're really catering to a wide variety of needs and interests and schedules and all of that stuff. So if they're interested, they're going to reach out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And to find out more about the Girl Scouts, please go and visit their website. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. To learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please go and visit our website at nctv17.org. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on social media. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.